Since skilling is another theme of this panel, I would again like to introduce something very unique which happens in Telangana. We have created an institution which is called the Telangana Academy for Skills and Knowledge, TASK, TASK. What TASK does is that it empanels engineering colleges, and we all know that while engineering colleges are good in the country, but they are still not very up to date with emerging technologies, new technologies. So what TASK does is to find out what are the emerging technologies in the market and introduces those as an add-on curriculum in these engineering colleges. So for instance, I was in a seminar yesterday here in Bangalore organized by IBM. So I learned to my pleasant surprise that Telangana is the only state where in an organized way IBM's Bluemix is taught in the colleges, and it is done through TASK. So many of these next generation emerging technologies or any other kind of skill set which you think the colleges don't really emphasize that much, we run add-on courses completely at our own cost. So suppose as an employer, you want 100 people with some particular skill set, we will train 500 people and ask you to select the best 100 of them. And you can take complete control of this training program. Your resource persons can come, you can manage how this training is happening. So under complete quality assurance, the best talented people. So you don't really need to retrain them or waste time and energy and effort in kind of skilling them again. And since the third pillar is on entrepreneurship, I would again like to share something which is very, very innovative. See, because Telangana is the newest state in the country, we take pride in calling ourselves the startup state. And I'm very happy to share with you that the largest technology incubator in the country is today located in Hyderabad, which is called the T-Hub. It has been launched 3 months ago, and the kind of buzz it has created, it has become a role model today for the rest of the country. People say that what exists in Valley or what exists in Cambridge or what exists in Israel or Singapore or Barcelona cannot be recreated anywhere. And many attempts have been made in the past to recreate these kind of ecosystems without any success. But we have put together something so meticulous that, I mean, people, lots of Valley visitors are coming to us, and even their eyes pop out when they see what we have put on ground. So I agree with Srinivas that focus on electronic or hardware innovation is still to catch up. But through T-Hub, that is going to be our focus. And by the end of this year, a vertical of T-Hub which focuses on hardware will be very much up and running in Hyderabad. So I do agree that states still need to kind of do a lot to meet industry's expectations. But I'm very, very confident that what we are doing in Telangana is going to set the benchmarks for the future. And I'll be very happy to take your questions and suggestions and comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Next, I invite Sri Pradeep Jaina from Government of Odisha to share a few words.
Thank you, Srinivas. I think Srinivas has, in his opening remarks, has placed all these issues in right context. And the Make in India program, which the national government has launched, whether it is Make in India, Digital India, Startup India, it's a very noble intention. But converting the noble intention into action is really a big challenge for the whole of the country. And as Jayesh has told, it is the states who have to convert this intention into action. And he has rightly said that not all the states are equally in equal position to contribute to this process, and few states are already little ahead, and few states are have joined the race. So Odisha is one of the states which has also joined the race, and last 2-3 years we have started working on this line, and we have utilized the services of Indian Electronics and Semiconductor Association to help us preparing a roadmap for electronics and semiconductor manufacturing sector. Accordingly, we also created a Department of Electronics and IT, to give little focus to electronics. We have changed the name of the department, and from 1st of April, we are also creating a Directorate of Electronics and Communication in the state to exclusively deal with the electronics sector. As Jayesh has already told out, all the states who are keen to join the race have something to offer, and sometimes we compete with each other. That's a good thing. At least now states are joining the race and trying very hard to grab a portion of this cake and start getting some industries for two reasons: to help the state contributing to the Make in India effort, and second aspect is to create more of job employment for the for its people. So I would talk something about what Odisha is doing. Till recently, we were basically, we as a state, you know, we control 1/3 of the country's mineral resource, so more of our effort was towards metallurgical and mineral waste industries. Apart from that, in software technology, software things, we have done something reasonably good. But in electronic sector, we had not done so well, and maybe we are a late starter, and we want to catch up with the rest of the early starters very aggressively. So what we are trying to do is that, yes, it's a big challenge. The three challenges which Srinivas has spelled out: high value manufacturing, skilled workforce, and innovative entrepreneurship. See, we have to create an ecosystem, and ecosystem would require the intention of the state governments in the form of policy legislations, and then creating appropriate institutional setups to implement those policy intentions. And like he said, that Telangana has a system where no approval is required for setting up industries. Yes, Telangana perhaps is one of the early starter. Then many states are thinking in this line, and in ease of doing business, Odisha has done fairly well. Now we are 7th, but next 4 months we hope to come within the top 3, and accordingly whole lot of reforms we have initiated. As he says that they have an act, we also have an act that is called Industries Facilitation Act, where very strong accountabilities are fixed, and whatever commitments are there, if those commitments are not fulfilled within those specified period, deemed approvals are available, and similarly very strong penalty systems are also there in the bureaucracy to show results. That's something which we are doing. This apart, the biggest challenge is, do we have a sufficient manpower pool to contribute to this endeavor? Do we have sufficiently quality trained manpower in the country? So also in our state of Odisha. So states have to possibly work very hard to create quality pool of quality manpower, not only to bridge this gap, but many of the graduates and diplomas that we produce, or ITI technicians that we produce in this country, maybe 70, 80, 90% of them are not useful to the industries from the day one. So therefore, creating a skilled manpower pool has been on our radar, and we have come up with one is, we have already a set of junk. When I say that, I don't junk them, but they are not readily useful, so we have to build their skill sets to make them more useful to the industries. So we have a finishing schools policy. We are very aggressive. We have a skills mission in which electronics and semiconductor is becoming a major thrust area for creating skills, and any industry who is keen to set up in say their plants in or industry in Odisha, like Telangana, as I said, almost all the states are working in similar line. We also have a policy where any industry, if they want say 1,000 manpower, and they should spell out their requirements of quality manpower, and it's the responsibility of the state, provided the industry gives us that much of time. If they say our manpower have to be trained in this particular thing for 6 months, okay, within 6 months we will create that manpower for the industry to consider selecting them. So we have a very aggressive skills policy, and we also have a good set of engineering and diploma colleges in the country, state. We churn out about 1 lakh plus technical manpower. So Only thing is that now we are working with the engineering colleges and the universities to improve the curriculum to suit it to the industry's needs, as well as to start large number of finishing schools and mass-based skill programs. This apart, the other problem is that everybody is talking about startup. We are also coming up with a startup policy. We have studied the startup policy of most of the states. The government of India startup policy is already out, so we are also working on it, and possibly on 5th of March we will be publishing our startup policy, where we hope it will be, since we start little late, possibly our policy will have certain elements which will be better than some other states. I should not at this stage say that it will be the best policy in the country, but certainly it will be comparatively much better than many of the existing policies. So one is having the startups, but startups have a bigger problem. Recently, just few days back, we are interacting with about 400 young entrepreneurs and innovators and startup enterprises in Bhubaneswar. What we found, the biggest problem the startup faces, meant they are bubble with energies, they have a lot of ideas, but they don't know whether their ideas are going to make some meaning in the market. So what is required is a strong dose of mentoring, possibly is required both in terms of technology as well as in terms of business management. So there, as a country, as states, we need to support the entrepreneurs along with the industries who are already established players and academia. So this is where the state of Odisha in its startup policy is putting something, that anybody who is aspiring to have a startup, apart from giving them incentives, we have a lot of incentives. In fact, we are for setting up ESDM things, apart from MC programs of Government of India, we give additional 25% capital investment subsidy, then VAT and other exemptions, training and HR support. So all those things are there, land at a cheaper rate. Apart from that, for the startups, we also have a policy of supporting them in terms of technology as well as business mentoring. So this is a few things we have already done. And though we don't have many industries, we have 5 good, reasonably good players in ESDM sector in Bhubaneswar who are into chip designing and other things. We would like more of industries to be to come to Odisha. We can assure you one good thing, that we can assure you 365 days, 24/7 absolute quality power. We have plenty of power, good quality power infrastructure we have put up, and other things, other infrastructure, other than that we don't have a full-fledged international airport. Other than that, we have the rest of the infrastructure which is highly favorable, very good quality infrastructure will provide, and more importantly, comparatively cheap and very high quality power on a continuous basis we can provide. So this apart, we would like suggestions from industries and ASA to guide us, because states, the bureaucracy in the state sometimes can come up with good policies, but whatever policy they think good may not work good for the industries. So whatever policies we are coming with, we are open to getting suggestions from the industries, so that we will work still hard and make it really favorable for joining, for making Make in India campaign a success. Thank you.